Anthony Joshua retained his world heavyweight titles after destroying Kubrat Pulev and knocking him out in the 9th round. Now, if you watch my prediction video, you'll know I told you guys Anthony Joshua by stoppage between rounds 9 and 12. And I mean, it looks like Joshua was going to get him out there in the 3rd, but it did go a lot longer than that. Kubrat Pulev is a tough fighter. We've known this since he fought Klitschko. When he fought Klitschko, as much as, you know, Klitschko knocked him out in the 5th round, Klitschko knocked him down in the 1st round, I think in the 2nd round as well, and Pulev still rose to his feet to fight again. And you gotta respect that about Pulev. Pulev is no pushover, and I think a lot of people need to open their eyes and start respecting Anthony Joshua's resume. I mean, the guy has fought at least 5 top 10 heavyweights or top 15 heavyweights who are actually legitimate top 15 heavyweights. You've got Dillian White, you've got Joseph Parker, Alexander Povetkin, Kubrat Pulev, Vladimir Klitschko. The list goes on, bro. So I think people need to start respecting Anthony Joshua. I was very impressed by Anthony Joshua's performance. When he came out in the first couple rounds, I noticed his stance was unusual compared to previous fights. He was very upright and very tall, and Joshua doesn't usually have his stance like that. He's quite sort of low down and crouched down, and I assume he does that to generate more power on his shots, because obviously if you can come up with your shots from the floor, then you're going to generate more power. But I mean, Anthony Joshua, I don't know if there's anything the guy can't do. I mean, he is developing very nicely into a very well-rounded fighter. I think in that fight against Pulev, we saw Anthony Joshua 2.0, a fighter who can box. And you got to remember, guys, Kubrat Pulev, arguably one of the best jabs in the heavyweight division, and one of the best boxers technically in the heavyweight division. And Anthony Joshua outboxed him and destroyed him. So I think people really need to open their eyes to see the talent that this man has. I'll go into the post-fight shenanigans in another video, but let's talk about the fight. So the first 3 rounds, they were tentative, very cagey. Pulev was sort of feinting. He was doing his stuff. He was just trying to work Joshua out. Joshua was also feinting, you know, showing Pulev the left hand, trying to occupy Pulev's, you know, faults, make sure Pulev can't throw that jab and then follow up with the right hand. But I think Anthony Joshua, I think the first round was probably even, and in the 2nd round Joshua won, and obviously the 3rd round is when Anthony Joshua knocked Pulev down, I believe twice. The first knockdown was beautiful from Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, yeah, I've never seen a heavyweight land a slip counter right hand to knock a guy down, and that's what Anthony Joshua did. Kubrat Pulev threw his jab. Anthony Joshua slipped the jab and threw the right hand over Kubrat Pulev's jab and dropped him. I mean, it was one of the... Listen, I'm not like... I feel like I'm bigging AJ up a lot, yeah. I'm not a massive AJ fan, I promise you guys this, but that was one of the best punches I've seen a heavyweight throw, ever. Honest. I mean, to see a heavyweight that's that big, 6'6", have the agility and the speed to slip the jab and throw a big right hand over the top and knock the opponent down, I mean, that is insane. But yeah, so Pulev got to the end of the round in the 3rd round. He survived. The 4th, 5th and 6th rounds, I don't think much happened in them rounds. Joshua sort of stood off Pulev. I think Joshua was wary of getting caught whilst rushing in, because that is what happened to him against Ruiz. Ruiz knocked Joshua out because Joshua knocked Ruiz down and rushed in to finish him and got countered. So I think Joshua was wary of that. But that's good. He showed patience. He showed composure, not to rush in and to outbox the boxer in Pulev. And then in the 9th round, the finish came. Another big straight right hand finished Pulev off, and Pulev failed to beat the count. So brilliant performance from Anthony Joshua. I think this is up there with, if I'm looking at an overall performance, I think this is possibly Joshua's best performance today. Which, I mean, you'd expect because it's his most recent. But in terms of the fight itself and what Joshua did in the fight, it had everything for me. Like, it had moments of aggression and powerful punching. It had speed. There was a lot of technical boxing in the first couple rounds. It was a brilliant fight, especially for a hardcore boxing fan. I don't know how much the casuals enjoyed it. I mean, from the reaction on social media, I think they enjoyed it pretty well. Because Joshua he knocked Pulev down like 4 times, so it was action packed. But Pulev he failed to impress. He didn't perform terribly, Pulev. He actually performed okay. But when you get knocked out, nobody cares about how you performed. They just know that you got knocked out. But let me know your thoughts about the fight in the comments below, guys. Like the video if you did enjoy it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and turn on post notifications.